How my journey began. It's graduation time. Family is very important to me, including my puppies. The Marine Corps played a huge role in my life and allowed me to be ambitious, inspiring, a mentor, and achieve all of my goals. As a financial expert, I've received multiple awards, done various events as a guest speaker all over the U.S. with my platform of creating healthy financial habits, along with having my own business. Hello, Gems, and welcome. For the month of December, I'll be introducing you to a few successful, talented, and professional business owners. They will be discussing their challenges and wins regarding how they got started in their specific industries. Our first guest is a leader in the natural, organic, personal care products industry. Let me tell you a little bit about this billion-dollar industry before I introduce you to her. The global market for natural cosmetics and personal care products was estimated to be $34.5 billion in 2018. It's expected to reach $54.5 billion by the year 2027. Approximately 28% of men and 22% of women in the United States use organic skin products. Roughly about 40% of Americans believe organic or natural care products are healthier for you. Our skin is the largest organ on our body. A lot of things absorb into our skin. Therefore, using natural or organic products are better for your body, rather than using products mixed with chemicals that can damage and or destroy your skin cells. Now, let me introduce you to our first guest in the month of December. Her name is Miss Sheri. She was born in Belize City, Belize. She is a Navy veteran. She would most like to collaborate with the brand known as the Lip Bar. And she is the owner of Just a Few Things and currently resides in North Carolina. Miss Sheri, welcome to the show and thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. How are you today, Jewel?
I am doing so well, so well. How are things in North Carolina?
A little chilly at the moment. Leaves are falling, but overall, beautiful day. Beautiful
Good,
day.
good, good. Can't beat a beautiful fall day when there's no snow just yet.
Not yet.
So let us go ahead and get started. I want everyone to know about Just a Few Things. So how did it get created? How did the title come? All of that good stuff. Fill us in.
Well, just a few things was created approximately 10 years ago. A friend of mine, great friend of mine, um, we are very crafty, and we just decided that we were going to get together and start a small business.
Right.
As we sat down and looked for names, we looked at the products that we were making already and decided, you know what, just a few things, because that's the things that we sell. We do sell just a few things. And basically, that's how we started, and still on that path to this day.
Right. So what type of products did you decide to start with in the beginning? Was it just one, or did you already map out, the first five that you're going to see how that's going to do?
We decided to do create things that we were good at already.
There you go.
Candles. I did candles and body butter, and we did bracelets. They were called paracord bracelets that actually you're taught in the military how to make. They're actually useful.
Right.
And we just decided to just start with that: the candles, the Sugar Scrubs body butter, and the paracord bracelets. And we were good with that, and that's what we started with.
And so your first event, tell us how that went.
Oh, well, it was a lot of work. This We set up everything, and we were put right next to a lady that sold potpourri.
Okay.
And at that time, we were selling candles and whatnot, and we sold absolutely nothing because
Right.
everyone walked by and went to the potpourri lady,
Ah,
and people would walk by and say, "Oh my God," and not "Oh my God" with happiness, but "Oh my God" with disregard. So, we actually did write down notes. We did write down notes that day, and we were kind of baffled and trying to figure out what did we do wrong. We
right.
took our notes and we worked from that. We did actually work on what we are going to do next time
So what
to
did you
move
guys
on.
find? Was it just the not the best type of event, not the right audience target that you were at? Or what did you guys figure out the reason why, other than the lady with the potpourri next to you, that you weren't getting the response, right? The potpourri took y'all out. So they,
It's about location,
right,
and knowing your target audience. People love candles, people love sugar scrubs, but what I observed that day was they couldn't really see the products. Everything was very low. So when people walked by, you can smell something, but you
right,
really couldn't see because everything was low, and really things were not cohesive.
right,
And
right.
so those are things I took pictures and I kind of went over the pictures and kind of seen. I said, okay, these are the things that we need to work on. Presentation. We are very visual people. We like to see things. Just like when we're eating dinner, we like to see a nice plate, you
Yeah,
know. So that's one of the things that we've learned, and then we tweaked, and then we moved on from there.
absolutely. So I know I kind of got ahead of the game and I wanted them to know just what it was like to get to that first vendor event. But how much did you guys invest in the initial startup to do the business?
We on my side, I invested $500.
Hmm.
I did a lot of research and looked for manufacturers for the things that I wanted to make, which was the jars, all the way from jars to the wax to the wicks to shea butter containers.
Right.
Um, I had a certain aesthetic in mind that I wanted it, how I wanted the products to look, and so $500 spent, and that was that. We took that as a loss.
Yeah, so how did you, yeah, absolutely. How did you go about finding the manufacturers? Was this like a Google search? Did you already have some local vendors or manufacturers in mind? So how did you guys kind of pick and choose? Because it's a huge industry, but finding the ones that work best for you. How did you guys do the process of elimination?
Back then there were no Facebook groups to
Right,
help with, so I'm a stickler for research on my own. And you just kind of have to, I did research, I researched key names, like say I looked for soy wax because I knew that's what the kind of wax I wanted to use. So I just Googled soy wax. And then I did candle containers or candle jars, and a plethora of those things came up. And then I
right,
saw there were some manufacturers that were near me at the time in San Diego. And I was able to go and purchase because I had a business license and I had my
right.
tax ID. I was able to use that and purchase my products. Research is the biggest thing. We have a lot of manufacturers that are out there, and if you have a certain look in mind for your business, but keywords are very important,
Right.
and that's one of the favorite things I love to do. I just Google keyword, and a plethora of things will pop up.
Absolutely. So about how many manufacturers do you work with now?
I still work with the key, give or take 5 manufacturers.
Okay.
I have a favorite that I use for many of my items because I can go and drive and pick up my
Right.
order. And I've dealt with them since I started this business, and they've been really really wonderful. There are certain things that I use for my business, like shea butter, and that I get from overseas. I do get some of my coconut oil from my country, from Belize as well, and that money will stay in the community and help the women in that community.
Right.
That money will go to their, help pay for school and so forth and so on. So
Absolutely. So where did you start the business at?
the business was started in Chula Vista, San Diego,
Right.
the East Lake portion of that area. And we just, at that time, really people were sending out flyers to different communities about craft shows.
Okay.
And so we were lucky because a lot of the craft shows were in that community, in that area, in East Lake. And
Right.
so we were able to kind of bounce from place to place in that area. We were very lucky in that aspect.
Absolutely. So, Jims, I want to make sure that you guys caught a lot of that. So, Miss Sheri started in Chula Vista, San Diego, excuse me, Chula Vista, California. Both cities are in the beautiful state of California. And what she did is she found a lot of the manufacturers that had the specific ingredients and or the containers that she wanted. She also found local manufacturers. So what does that mean? She was able to eliminate the shipping costs to a lot of other business owners in Cura because they're going with manufacturers that may be overseas and in other states. She was able to find someone that was local, which meant she could drive just up the street to go pick it up. All she was using was just her gas. Also with that is she's making those partnerships face to face partnerships, face to face business owners is always better than just the phone or the email where we do. So she's building that rapport with these manufacturers that get used to her on a monthly basis, a weekly basis. So when she calls in, now they're on a more of a friendship basis. Hey Sheri, so what do you need? How did the last shipment go for you? How did the last
Absolutely.
product go for you? Do we need any more tweaking? Do we need anything else that you saw on your end that we wouldn't have known about. So she was building up that inner partnership and building that accountability on both sides. They knew that she was good for her product. So she showed them as a businesswoman, hey, when I need this amount of stuff, I'm good for my word. And they knew like, hey, when Miss Sheri comes, boom, we're ready. So there was a lot of things going on that side. Just wanted to make sure that we kind of hit on that. You also hinted on another things with your natural products. You said you get a lot of your natural products from your home country of Belize and Ghana. So tell us a little bit more about and tell us how that money that is used for you goes back into the community so people can understand how that works just a little bit better.
Well, it's very important that I support not only the communities here in the United States, but also support the smaller communities in Belize.
Right.
For instance, in San Diego, I had a young lady that kept me in contact with a young man or a young woman, I'm sorry, who is from Ghana, and they ship, and she's from a community of women in Africa that produce the shea butter.
Okay.
And instead of having that middleman who, obviously they'll have to charge a certain amount because they have to make their money as well,
Right.
we got in contact with that community, and I was able to directly buy my shea butter from this beautiful community where the women there is a community where they have their children. They make the shea butter, but the money stays in that community so they can have send their kids to school
Yeah.
or buy books or just food and necessities that they may need.
Right.
And in Belize, our coconut oil is a little bit different.
Right.
It has a beautiful scent and it's just a really beautiful product. I use that and my cajon oil for a lot of my products, but the coconut oil for sure is in all of my soaps, all my handcrafted soaps that I create, and also a smaller community where it can benefit from the money that we spend there. Um, and I think that's very important as far as I'm a young woman and who's a business owner, but also being able to help other communities, other women
Right.
flourish and thrive with their businesses as well. So it's very important, even if it's around the world,
Right.
women can help themselves. Women can help themselves. And that's very, very important to me. That's very important to me.
Yes, yes.
So I'm very appreciative that I'm able to connect with people, not only from my country, but from other countries as well.
Absolutely. So, just to kind of recap on that, Hey Gems, her natural products are good for us, but you, by purchasing these products from her business, you're actually helping all these countries that she mentioned, Belize and Ghana, African countries out there, so their children can go to school. Maybe they have the shea butter that's there for them. Their biggest challenges might be education, it's books, it's clean water. So by giving back to these small business owners who then are so deeply connected to their own communities and the communities around the world, you're giving it back, or as they say, you're paying it forward. Your dollar is not just helping here in your own community in your household, but it's helping other communities, other households around the world. So I like the way that full circle kind of comes fully back around, and you can see how just your dollar, your input just kind of goes around and it's a blessing and a support to everything else. So kudos to you for finding those communities and knowing where
Thank
your
you.
dollars go, because a lot of business owners really don't know where their dollars go. They know that it comes to them and then they ship a product out, but to know exactly where your dollars are being spent on the other side is key. You don't want to end up with being one of those business owners where you all of a sudden you're on TV and it's like, oh, did you know that buying this from this specific business,
Yes.
contributed to the war over
Yes.
here? It contributed to weapons over here. So knowing specifically where those dollars go to
Yes.
is a huge,
Yes.
huge, huge point. So Miss Sheri has been in the business for a very, very, very long time. And I want them to kind of get this aspect of you. Just where have you sold your products at? Because you've been some of everywhere. Stop making it seem like you just, oh, I just started in California. Now I'm in North Carolina. No, tell my gems where your products are out and where you have been. And people have seen you and they know you. I know this. I've seen you out.
Yeah. I've been very fortunate to be able to connect with people who one of my products not only in their stores, but I've been very lucky to be able to have my own place in a mall. The mall was in Riverside. It's the Riverside Mall in California. I've had several partnerships with different boutiques in
Right.
Temecula, Chula Vista, some in New York City as well. Currently, DeSoto, Texas is a Black-owned beauty supply store that my products are currently being sold at.
Nice.
Being able to connect, even in Belize, some of my soaps are there as well. And being able to connect, people come up to me and say, "Hey, we love your product.
Right.
How would you like a spot in this shop, or how would you like a spot at the mall?" The mall, that
Right.
you never even think about. You see all these people when you go to malls and see that they sell stuff and whatnot, but to actually have your business there and people recognize your business and your hard work, that was very humbling. I was very, very humbled. That's my take on that. I was very humbled, and I'm very thankful, because from there, everything is a platform.
Right.
You start here. It's a lot of work, and do not get me wrong, it's a lot of work. And I tell people all the time, I am really a one-woman show.
Right.
So, but yeah, I've been all over. I've been very blessed to be able to have my products recognized, and people really love my products. So yeah, I'm very happy about that.
Absolutely. And Jim, I'm gonna take a pause right quick. So I didn't tell you how I knew this beautiful woman. I met her in California at through another friend, but we've done actual vendor events together, and I've actually seen her at work in the malls and in these boutique stores. And when she says that people love her products, no, they do love her products. People come up to her, she's putting the shea butter on the hands, they're smelling the candles, and they're picking this. Her design and her appeal to the eye when you got to walk by, because you got to think, when you're in the mall, you got to catch them, because they're looking left, they're looking right, they're looking everywhere. But when they set their eyes on her and they're like, what does that smell? And then here they come. I need to see it. I've seen this in person, and I've seen how she interacts with people. And that's why she's able to kind of keep the business going. And people say, hey, are you coming back next week? Are you coming back next Saturday? Hey, we have a big event. So what other business owners should know, as she mentioned, that it's not easy. You have to hustle. You have to want it. You have to be present. There's no such thing as a bad day when you're on. When she's at the mall, it doesn't matter if you didn't feel good today. It doesn't matter if, this was going on, X was going on. When you're there, people don't want to see you behind your desk or your counter, just it's kind of moping. Oh, you want to see a candle? They're over there. No, hi, how are you? What is your favorite smell? I'm pretty sure I have something for you. And she has something for everyone. So
Including men.
I'm sorry?
Including men. I didn't forget the guys.
Including men, yes, everyone, kids, men, children, everyone. So not only California, Texas, and New York, and all around. So you can find her anywhere. Moving on to how she connects with every single customer. What sets you apart in your business from all the other businesses that are similar to you in the same industry?
I feel that I'm very personable. I come from a very long line of business owners, including my grandpa and my dad.
Nice.
And I remember going on a lot of business meetings with my dad, even with my grandpa in Belize. But my dad would meet with people, and he just had this personable. He would make them laugh, and they would talk back and forth. Now my parents are from Belize, so my dad's accent is very heavy.
Right.
But he still was able to connect with people. There are people to this day. My dad has been in his business, his line of work, for as old as I am, probably older. And to this day, people still call him to make things for them.
Right.
And I learned that. I'm like, that's just who I am. I love to smile. I love to connect with people, because we are our best salesperson. We are our best advertisement for our business. So everything that I create, everything I make, I wear, I use. And I just love to, do you mind if I put some shea butter in your hand? If somebody walking by and I see somebody that need a little bit of shea butter, I'm like, hey, would you mind trying a little bit of shea butter? Look at the difference. And I'll just rub their hands and I'll talk to them and smile. If it's a gentleman, I'll ask them what kind of products do they like to use, and I'll talk to them as well, because we can't leave them out. Men love to take care of themselves.
Yes.
You gotta keep them in. And so I'm very personable. I take care. I know their children. I know their birthdays. I send little gifts. Just even during this pandemic, I know things were very hard for a lot of my clients and my customers. And I just randomly sent out a bunch of soaps and just a thank you. I'm thinking of you guys. Hang in there. I love you guys. You don't have to buy anything, but just letting you guys know I do appreciate you. I appreciate everything you have done for Just a Few Things. Um, Customer service is an absolute number one for me. If there's an issue, my customers know that they can text me, call me, email me, and I will rectify that right away.
Right.
It's very important. And it's not just about coming back. It's about because people are spending their hard-earned money and they stopped and said, hey, you know what? I love Just a Few Things. They spent their money here.
Right.
So what would I look like not helping and rectifying if there's an issue? That's a big part of business. I would say 50% of your business is customer service.
Absolutely.
And I love that. I love customer service. I love being able to speak with people and connect with people because we don't have a lot of that anymore. People are on their phone, their email, but I love that face-to-face contact. So I feel that's what sets me apart because I absolutely love what I do, especially when I'm out and about at
Yes.
shows. So.
Absolutely. I know you have customized labels. She does the cutest little packaging details. She's definitely fairly priced for the market. So know that if you go to Just a Few Things, and when you go to Just a Few Things, that she's not overpriced and you're going to get the best for your dollar. And that's why she's able to have repeat customers. So I know she has a few products she wants to show you guys. Can you show them just a little bit about what you have and just kind of
Absolutely.
let us know what it is that we're taking a peek at?
Okay, thank you so much, Jewel. One of my best sellers. It's my I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, there we
This
go.
is my Lux. Can you see it?
Yes.
Sorry, my Lux body cream. As you can, this is made from organic shea butter. I whip. It's a process because I whip and I whip. There's certain things that I do, and it it glides on just lovely right onto your skin.
I love it.
I like to put it on when I'm damp out of the shower.
Mm-hmm.
And it just keeps you nice and smooth and keeps you fresh. Also, you can use it for your hair. A lot of our natural beauties use it for their hair for twist outs to moisturize your hair. I currently started and launched a beauty care line for the young ladies, the little girls. I really want young ladies to understand that it's okay to take care of self. It's okay to start taking care of yourself. So I did something that, and it's all everybody's.
Now, what is that you're holding up? The last one. What are those?
This one is a hair and body butter. So I know a lot of my clients, the little girls, have natural hair, which is fantastic. So they can use this on their body and their hair as well. You know, put ponytails, braids, whatnot. And then this is every single thing that you see. This is an organic body wash.
Okay.
Everything you see is handcrafted. Yes, this is all handcrafted by me from wonderful ingredients, including the coconut oil.
I love it.
And this is some of my best sellers from day one has been. Which is Jewel and I, our favorite color, purple.
Yes, purple, love it. Now, what scent is that? Because you have, how many scents do they have? She just doesn't have like 5 scents. Like you have like 20, 30, 40, 50.
I have a lot. Sometimes I have to scale down.
Yes.
This is the lavender. This is called Sweet Dreams Lavender. This one is a coconut milk and honey soap. Nice. This has manuka honey in it. It has chamomile in it, organic oats. And it has and all of the other ingredients that I put in here. This has the red that you see here is a red clay from Australia. So this is absolutely one of my best sellers. This is for the guys.
Yes.
This one is called Mountain Man, a bay rum type soap. Smells lovely. Same ingredients, coconut milk. This one I actually make with craft beer as the liquid. When you put beer in your soap, it gives you a really nice lather, and the guys really love that. There's some of the things that I put out for my clients. Sometimes I started making some really cute mugs.
Yes.
And so going forward, a lot of my clients will be getting mugs just as a thank you. Yes. And I'm going to send out mugs to people as a thank you. The season is coming up, and it says, warm wishes on the back.
Yes, those are so cute.
So I'm just very grateful that I'm able to do things that I love. I love my business. It's hard. I used to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to travel up north in California to go to the mall and sit there from 7 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night by myself.
Yes.
Loved it. Because a lot of my clients would say, Sheri, are you hungry? You want something to eat? When you come back up, stay at my house. And it was just like you said, you build that rapport. Very, very important. building a rapport.
Yes, love all of those products, and you guys are gonna love them too. They are definitely so soft. They're smooth. The lather of them, you just between that and the smell, you might take an extended shower. So make sure you put the timer on. You can't be wasting too much water. You know,
Not wasting
don't be
water.
wasting too much water. So Sheri, your business is doing
Mhm.
so well. How's it been doing for the last few years? Tell us about those. How's that?
Um, you know, with business, it's up and down. Last year wasn't, the year before last wasn't like my ideal year due to, personal removed and whatnot. But you still work and you still put out the products. You still have quality products. So what I did the year that was a down year for me, I call it a down year. I just kind of scaled back some things that were not working, that were not selling well. Um, and I concentrated on the things that were selling well,
Right.
and kind of perfecting that. Those are the things that you work on when you have a business. You feel like you don't want to put out too much too soon, and
Right.
you don't want to waste money. You don't want to waste money, but you kind of want to tweak certain things here and there. Sometimes I feel like I cannot believe that I'm in business. I cannot believe that I do well. Like you forced me to kind of sit back and say, wow, I
Right.
am doing well. Because I don't think of it in that way. I just feel like I have a product. People love it. They buy it,
Right.
and that's it. But you've actually had me sit back and think like, wow, I did something here.
Yes.
And I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of that. But I think my business have done exponentially. I say about maybe 85 to 95% increase because I scaled up as far
Right.
as, and
Right.
then including my wholesale clients.
Right.
And
Right.
so that's where I feel that I've done really well in that area as well.
Absolutely. So just a little bit more of her statistics. She
Okay.
roughly, just from these products alone is roughly right about 16,000 a year. Like she said, the pandemic and maybe the others that, the economy as a whole might have seen a decrease. She didn't decrease all the way down to zero, guys. She was still hustling and doing it and still being able to pull in a surplus of 10,000 or more during those years. So she hit on it by being in a pandemic. A lot of people shut their doors. A lot of people said no. Being able to navigate and pivot through even a pandemic to switch to online, to switch to emails and just saying, hey, you know what? Let me go back to my repeat customers and just sending out thank yous. They may say, oh, you know what? Right. We can't buy soap in the stores because there's no soap on the shelves, but we can buy soap from Sheri. We can still get our hair products from her. We can still get our lotions from her. So guys, you other guys and females, when you're going through these challenges, think, how can I still do my business and make these absolute changes so that you can still grow and people think of you when everybody else is empty and their shelves are empty. They want to be, you want to be their go-to person for these products. And that's for what I'm hearing is kind of how she's been able to still keep the momentum going with that. So how do you see your business growing in the year 2021? What big things do you have or you want to put in place to make sure that revenue is still going and there's still much of an increase?
Well, one of the things that I really concentrated on is my wholesale clients. I've actually been very lucky enough to pick up a lot of more wholesale clients because during this pandemic, a lot of businesses. I've always had an online presence. I've had an online presence probably since my business has been in fruitation. So
Right.
even though a lot of online businesses weren't there, I've always, my husband's like, you need to have one. And this was like maybe 2011, 2012. So I've always had an online presence, which it works out pretty well because my business is all over the country,
Right.
including Hawaii. And I had clients in Alaska
Right.
and overseas. I am one of the very few people that service my military folks. As a prior military, I send a lot of military care packages,
Yes.
and you know how much I love my military folks. But anyway, moving forward, I am going to kind of, I have already started with my wholesale clients. One, which was my product being in an abuse supply store. I'm actually working with a young lady who is going to start her spa business, and then she would like to purchase her products from me wholesale as well. Wholesale is really a way to go. Some people may not like it, some people may not, but I feel like you can adjust to that. You can still have your online presence, you can still sell your products, but it helps someone else who may not have that opportunity or the time to
Right.
make their own products. So
Right.
wholesale is an excellent way to go, and that's how you, in my opinion, you scale up your business that way. That way, you still have that income coming in when things may be a little bit slower on the individual side. Um, so that's one of the big things I'm working on this year. One of the things I am going to work on. I know a lot of people, the brick and mortars are kind of closing. I
Right.
still believe in brick and mortar because I do have a lot of older clients who, I'm
Yes.
not saying they're not savvy and cannot navigate the internet because they
Right.
can, but a lot of people still like to go into stores. I
Right.
do. I still like to go into stores, and I feel like having a brick and mortar does help with the local economy,
Right. Right.
right? It helps with the local economy. So that's those are the things that I'm going to concentrate on for 2021 as well.
Like to do with all of the guests that are on my show is I like for my guests to provide an inspirational quote to our gym, something that's meaningful to you that we can take with us and use with us in our day-to-day basis. What is your inspirational quote?
My inspirational quote would always be something that my mom and my grandmother always said. And it's very simple. I'm quite sure you've heard this before. Treat others the way you want to be treated.
Absolutely.
Always. And it's
Always.
not about just selling things. It's just being on a personal level with someone. Look at them in your eye and smile because we never know what people are going through. Just
Yes.
smiling. Like, Jewel, I love your smile so much. Your eyes are so beautiful. I see women walk by all the time. I'm like, oh my God, your hair is so nice. And
Yeah.
you can just see that goodness. Treat
Right.
people the way you want to be treated.
I
Don't
love it.
take your time with it.
I love it. Gems, treat people the way that you want them to be treated. Absolutely. And definitely an inspirational quote. So buy, share, and enjoy these products. You can get all of the products and many more on justafewthings.com. Don't hesitate to reach out to Miss Sheri. Miss Sheri, thank you so much for being a guest on my show. You're welcome to come back anytime.
Jewel, I'm so appreciative that you've had me here. I'm so proud of you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much for having me. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye guys.
So, all right, Jim. So, creating healthy financial habits is a lifelong commitment. Remember that without change, there be no butterflies. I absolutely love that every single time that I say it. Creating habits, creating lives, and changing habits and changing lives and changing futures are always up to you. We are their creation we want to see. Until next time, Jims, take care.